Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about the best places to sell digital products. There's a bunch of different places out there: Etsy, Gumroad, Creative Market, million places, right? You could even sell, I guess you could sell it through like Pinterest, or I even tried selling it through TikTok Shop. That kind of went sideways. But we're going to talk a little bit about the best places to sell digital products. I'll give you kind of a ranking system, where to start, where to end, and so on. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about a niche idea. I always want to give you a relevant, real niche that you could potentially get into. I would say one of the biggest niches out there, and again, this is all based on my experience. This isn't pie in the sky. This is things that are actually impacting or affecting me. My kids love football. My son loves to play baseball. And parents out there that want their kids to do well, they want their kids to excel in sports, they buy them training equipment. For example, I bought two different types of nets. I bought a net for them to practice throwing footballs into 3 different spots, and it allows them to train and practice without me. For my son that likes baseball, I bought him a little net that comes with a tee that he can simply just hit balls into to practice making contact and hand-eye coordination. But one of the best niches out there, it's almost an evergreen niche, it's ever growing, is simply sports training equipment. Now, the sports training equipment, especially football training equipment, that's relevant for little kids, so like 3 years old all the way up to high school and college, because there's always going to be people out there that want to get better at their sports. So that's evergreen. There's always going to be kids out there, right? But that's simple. And there's all sorts of training equipment. And, you can focus on just football training equipment, and teach people how to use it. So don't just talk about the different equipment, talk about how to use it. Different drills for that equipment. One of the most powerful ways to earn affiliate commissions is to show people all different drills using that equipment. So for example, the football net that we've got, you could teach them 5 drills to become a better passer. And each one of those drills that you show them requires that net. And then you can say, hey, look, if you want to pick up the net that we're using, click the first link in the description and you can earn affiliate commissions. Now, I think the product was maybe $40 or $50. You earn a 10% commission, that's $4. You would need to sell probably 30 or 40 of them a day in order to make that money, make $100 a day, right? But how cool is that? You create videos, 5 best drills, or drills I wish I learned sooner. Different things like that related to the product or service that you want to use, and just like that, you start making money. Anyway, that is the niche idea. Let's go ahead and talk about the different the different places to sell digital products. I'm going to have to move on for a little bit. Maybe this is going to turn into a walk and talk, so we'll see. All right, so the best places. People will talk about Etsy, which I think is my least favorite. And the reason why I don't like Etsy is that it's a race to the bottom, in my opinion. You are going to be competing on price, and you're going to be competing on volume. And what I mean by that is you're going to need to create tens of variations for a single product to make money. And I say this as someone that has sold a number of products, different types of products, over on Etsy. So a lot of people will tell you to do Etsy. And Etsy is easy enough because you just create a digital product, post it on Etsy. Etsy SEO will do the work. If you want to kick it up a notch, you can market your product through social media or through YouTube to drive traffic to Etsy. But the problem is Etsy will charge you. They're charging you a listing price. They're going to charge you a renewal price. They're going to charge you a processing fee. And so you're basically flushing money down the drain. And the other issue too is all of your competitors are going to be around your product. And in addition, and another thing, you're going to run into the issue where you don't actually get access to the customer data. So marketplaces like Etsy, Creative Market, Udemy, they all have limits on how much you can interact with your audience. And that's a huge drawback for me, right? When I used to sell, when I have a course, I have a number of courses on Udemy. It's a course platform, course creation platform. I have probably 5 or 6 courses on there. It's one of the first things I started doing, making money online. They limit how many emails you can send per month, and they limit the type of emails that you can send per month. You can only send 2 promotional emails per month, and the other ones are like, I don't know, education emails. So they charge you to host you create all the content, you do all the hard work. And this is for Etsy or Udemy or wherever. You do all the hard work creating the course or the digital product. They do a little bit of marketing. You do the marketing they tell you, in fact, to market the course on YouTube and other places. And then they give you a sliver of the money, and they don't allow you to interact. In fact, I used to get in trouble for sending out quote unquote promotional emails. They scan your emails to make sure it's not too promotional. They scan your emails to make sure that you're not trying to pull people off of the platform. Now, obviously, there are ways around it, and one of the ways that I would do it, let me make sure my audio is still working. Okay. One of the ways that I would do it is inside of my course, I would offer a free gift, which was a lead magnet. And in order to get the free gift, they would have to enter in their name and their email. Okay, great. But, even that, you're running the risk. You're running a fine line between getting your course pulled and wherever. So, same with Etsy. One thing that you'll notice is if you ever buy anything on Etsy, they'll offer you a free gift to get you off of the platform. So, Etsy, Creative Market, Udemy, not great places to sell digital products. It's great for learning marketing. It's great for learning what your customers or target audience wants. You can go do research on Etsy, but I'm not a huge fan of it. People will also recommend using Facebook. Facebook, unless they've recently changed their terms of service, they're not a huge fan of selling digital products on their platform. So, not a big fan of that. You want to sell products where you have control. The more control you have, the better. Places like Facebook, Etsy, no control. Another place you can sell digital products is through like Teachable. Those platforms, I've used Teachable, Kajabi, I've used Kartra. Kartra's separate, but we'll talk about Teachable and Kajabi, for example. You get more control. However, their systems are created to do one thing very well, and that's to sell and promote courses. Over the years, they've tried to add other aspects, and it just hasn't gone well. For example, I'm thinking about Kajabi. Kajabi has tried to add memberships and podcasts and emails, and it just doesn't work out very well. It doesn't work great. There are issues with it. So I don't recommend those. Ultimately, what I recommend that you do, we'll save that for a second. The next one is Gumroad. Gumroad, I would say Gumroad's a C+ or maybe even a B-. What I like about Gumroad is that you can start for free. You can start selling your digital products 100% for free. The only drawback is there's a couple drawbacks. One, they're going to take a decent amount of money from you because you're using their platform. Two, your competitors' products are showing up around yours. You're doing all the work and you're creating a customer for them. And if you're doing all the work, you're doing the marketing, you're creating the digital product or service, you might as well not give your customers away to other people. But like I said, Gumroad is a good place to start because you can use it to verify a product idea. You can launch it quickly. You can launch it easily and fast. You just use, like, you can just give it a title, quick sales page. You can charge what you want or ask for whatever you want. But it's a good place to start. Ultimately, what I think you should do is sell your digital product on your own. Have your own landing page and sales page. Have your own payment processor, because that's essentially what Gumroad is doing anyway. They're acting as your payment processor. They're acting as your landing page. It takes a little bit more time to set up, which is a drawback, but you get the customer data. You're not competing or fighting for attention with your customers, or competition, I should say. And you're starting to build a mailing list where you can sell your digital products, sell more digital products to your current customers. As you should know, as you might know, the easiest way to make more money is to sell your current customers, or people that have currently bought something from you before, sell them more stuff. And you can even ask them, what do you want? What can I sell you more of? And they'll tell you. What else do you need help with? And they'll tell you. And going this route, selling it on your own, can feel overwhelming and tedious and, all of those big words. But here's how you're going to do it. Find a place. You could use Gbolt Systems if you want. Get started with Gbolt Systems for $17 per month. You can use ClickFunnels. You could use Kartra. You could even use GetResponse. They have a thing of that now. But you're going to find one of these platforms. It's a web page builder, essentially. You can even use WordPress if you wanted to. You're going to find one of these platforms. Once you find the platform, you build out a landing page to collect the emails. Then you build out a sales page. You got to learn a little bit about sales page marketing. That's a different beast, a different ball of wax. You simply learn these things. Nope, you're fine. No, you're fine. Hey, this is a public space. Ride wherever you want. You simply... What was I going to say? Anyway, learn a little bit about sales page marketing. Learn a little bit about the buyer psychology, because you're going to have to learn about that stuff anyway, right? You make a sales page. You create content and drive traffic to that sales page. Then, when people buy from you, or a landing page, you have access to the customer data, and then you just learn a little bit about email marketing. You don't have to learn about all this stuff at one time. Learn each piece at a time as you get to it. Learn each hurdle as a time as you encounter it. So step number 1, learn about building out a landing page. A landing page you'll use to collect names and emails. Step number 2, or 1A, is to learn how to build a lead magnet. A lead magnet can be a 30-minute workshop that you create with Zoom or Loom. Or it can be a cheat sheet that you build out in Canva, right? So you learn how to do that. Then you learn how to build out a landing page. That landing page is going to be designed to collect names and emails. Then you learn how to build, how to collect emails, how to build out an autoresponder sequence. Then you learn how to create a sales page for a digital product. Then you learn how to build a digital product. And then that's it. Take it one piece at a time. Don't think about it as this large, huge thing. Think about the first hurdle. And I wonder, is that what track people do? I've never ran hurdles, but are they thinking about the entire race, or are they thinking about the upcoming hurdle? That'd be interesting. If you ever ran track, let me know. Do you think about the entire race, or do you think about one hurdle at a time? Anyway, that's a side track there, side quest. But if you are going to sell digital products, and it's something I encourage everyone to do, if you're committed to selling digital products, sell them on your own. You'll be much happier, you'll be much more profitable, you'll be able to build a sustainable business. The other issue too, when you rely on these other platforms, is that they can take it away from you at any point. Etsy could wake up one day and say, your digital product violates our terms of service. Your digital product is no longer viable, or we just don't want it. They could wake up one day and say, we don't want it, right? We could change the rules whenever we want. Same with any other platform that you don't actually control. When you are paying somebody like ClickFunnels or Gbolt Systems, you have a little bit more control. Or, if you're using WordPress, you have a little bit more control. Even with Facebook is notorious for waking up and saying, we don't want this on our platform anymore. And people will say, well, this will never happen to me. It can happen to you, and it will. In fact, we're kind of seeing this with YouTube. YouTube's changes, I've got a bunch of people commenting saying they were demonetized for no reason. YouTube can wake up, and in fact, a couple of my videos were taken down. This was a few months ago. YouTube can wake up tomorrow and say, I don't like your content. I don't like what you're talking about. I don't like that you are outside. All content creators must be inside. Or, we don't like that you're in Wisconsin. All content creators must be in Illinois. In fact, they kind of do that. They have different monetization requirements or payments based on where the creator lives. They could wake up one day and say, we don't like this, we're going to change it, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why you want to have as much control as possible. If you are an online business owner, if you want to make money in general, you want to have as much control as possible. And relying on other people's platforms limits the amount of control that you have. That's why you need to do your own thing. You can use ClickFunnels. That's what I used when I first got started. Had ClickFunnels subscription. I think I was paying like $97 a month. But if you want more funnels and more features, it was like $297 a month. If you decide to use Gbolt Systems, which is my software as a service, it's a white labeled version of Go High Level. Go High Level is $97 a month at least. Gbolt Systems is $17 per month to start out. It's all about control. You want to control as much as you can. And I need to get a picture. I didn't get a picture for this video or the last one. Let me see here. All right, got a couple pictures there. The overcast, if you are, this is a side quest here. The best time to create content outside is when it's overcast. Like right now, it's overcast, it's kind of cloudy. I'll show you the background there. This is the best time to create content because the sun is too harsh and it's not filtered. And so it, and you're squinting and blinking like this. But the absolute best time, if you want to create content, is when it's cloudy out. Clouds offer kind of like a soft box, a little bit of a filter for content. So side quest there. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Again, if you have questions, put them in the comment section below. And what I will do is, if I pick your comment, I'll give you a shout out, and we will, I'll feature your comment in a Sunday video. And I want to make sure that I get those questions answered. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to like, comment, follow, share, subscribe. Having a business, owning a business is all about control. The more you can control, the more money you can make. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.